one piece.
Better than million little pieces.
Yeah, plot armor will do that for you. After a while, you won't even be surprised. Welcome again to the milking session. As I told someone else, I'm milking this because you guys don't want it to end and because it's actually easier for me to get through them in bite-sized pieces than having to rewatch this twice and edit it while it's an hour long. But it can't be worse than the way that Universal milked this poor franchise until it's just the bare bones left of it. So let's make like the studio and milk this till it bleeds.
It's the Fire Mountain.
What in the world? Spike, why are you walking with your ass in the air like that? I do not want to see that. Look, his tail comes into the screen first. I mean, I know that was usually the way he walks, but I've never seen it from the back end. It just doesn't look proper. So now that they're back on track, mind you, by the way, they could have been a lot farther had they gone Sarah's way. I'm going to keep on saying that because I'm going to utter what she says, which is I told you so. But now they're back on track after a long while of dealing with that with the sharp teeth. They could have been killed. Not only could they have dropped into the crevasse, but he could have also killed his friends via those sharp teeth. Remember, we're aware that they have plot armor. They are not.
Like Wild Arms said, we just have to reach the moving water and we'll be fine.
Why does he look like that? I'm not even trying to nitpick. Like, he looks
disgusting.
Have you ever had that experience when you put your shoes on the wrong way, you put the right one on the left foot and vice versa? If you could make a face look like that feeling, this would be it. How can they make the character be the embodiment of such nastiness, even though technically the animations are crisper and cleaner? Gross. I'm going with someone's canon. There's a few of you who say that these are not the real characters. They haven't been the real characters since like the second, third, and fourth movie. And these are imposters in their bodies. Because damn.
Fine? What do you mean, fine? We are nowhere near fine.
Bitch, you have no right. See what I mean by his arrogance? He has no right. He didn't even apologize. He told his friends, guys, if we go this way, okay. Fair enough, you didn't ask them for your help, but you knew damn well they were going to come along. Sarah asked you to go the safe way. Regardless of whether they decide to come or not, the fact that they're with you and you want to be the leader all the time, you should have their best interest at heart. So when Sarah tells you the safer way for all of them is to go this way, and you decide to go your way because it's the fastest, but yet you waste time unnecessarily and put them in danger unnecessarily, and then they call you out on that shit and say, you know what, we're not fine. We don't know what Sarah means by that. Maybe she means, hey, we don't have a way across. We're at another crevasse. Or because they just got chased by a whole bunch of sharp teeth. Littlefoot looks at her with this dumbass, self-entitled look that says, you have no right to be mad at me. Ah, please. Bitch, you almost killed your friends. So literally they're just staring at each other and Petrie and Ducky are staring at them and Spike is like, let me get out of here. Why are they still staring at each other? So here's the next part. Oh God. So Ducky cries out, Spike found a way! And then when you get the establishing shot, oh wow. Oh my God, how nifty. Now that it's a big enough chasm, now you have a perfectly aligned freaking staircase on the side that wasn't there before. At this point, they just could fall off and they would still be alive. They should be fine.
Look, guys, Spike found a way down.
Of course he did.
Well, hello there, Ruby and Chopper.
What can we do for you?
Is Littlefoot here?
It's really gonna take me, I'm never gonna get used to that voice. Seriously, 90% of the movies have Grandpa Gourmet's voice sounding one way. And yes, obviously, I know that the character, the people are dead, okay? They're old. I did say that in the videos that I know that. It doesn't change the fact that it's very uncomfortable to hear a completely different voice coming out of a character. What they used to do in movies, if they had voiceover stuff, is they would get another person that sounds like them. Like Littlefoot sounds the way he does now. Then you get somebody else who sounds like Littlefoot. If something were to happen to that character or the actor and he can't do it anymore, you find somebody who sounds like him. It's not impossible. Hey guys, my dad needs us. If we don't go this way, it'll be too late. I don't even sound spot on like Littlefoot, but I can do a decent job. I know the cadence of the characters, and I'm not the only person in the world who knows how they sound, and I am not the only person in the world also who can mimic. Human beings are very good at that. And you'll find a lot of people that will even practice. The reason why I sound very similar to the characters is because I've been practicing since I was a baby, because I was pretending to be the characters like my whole life. There are people out there that if you tell them, hey, I want you to sound like this character, they are so talented. You take the script home and one day they can learn to sound exactly like that character. It's not that hard.
Just like Ducky. When the actress for her died, they went and got someone that sounded just like her. Yup. And even though she doesn't sound exactly like her, it is still believable that it is Ducky. Yup.
It is not hard to find someone that sounds like the actors. Find somebody that sounds like the actors. There are old men out there that can mimic people who do the Looney Tunes stuff. Sure, if they're already contracted with those studios, I understand. But just all it takes is a little bit of effort. Here's an audition for someone to sound like this. Maybe they did that, but clearly they didn't try hard enough, and they probably thought they didn't have to because nobody cared about it anymore, because they made the franchise in such a way that nobody wants to care about it anymore. And Jesus Christ, why is Chopper and Ruby here? Why are people in the Great Valley okay with a baby Sharptooth waltzing around the place? What happened to his parents? There is still no explanation for why they're here. Yes, I know they're from the TV series, but people who are watching the movie that have not watched the show should not be required to watch the show to get who the characters are. And yes, they know who Chopper is, but it makes no sense that he's here because the last time we saw Chopper was in the 5th movie and he was on an island with his parents. Why did he live there? I don't know. Because he's a f***ing Sharptooth and he can't stay in the Great Valley. The whole purpose of the 2nd movie and him leaving is that shark teeth were not allowed in the Great Valley. If you don't believe me, here's the clip.
He bit me! Chopper bit me!
Don't you see, Chopper? You can't be a Sharptooth. Sharp teeth aren't allowed in this valley.
Where is the consistency? Even Chopper, poor Chopper who loves Littlefoot and the others, who sees them as his parents, his instinct is to fucking eat them. Why would you have him in the Great Valley? Not to mention, his parents don't get the concept of what friends are, regardless of what happened at the end with them saving their child. At the moment, they're not going to kill them. But when those Sharpteeth are in hunting mode, they're not going to be like, oh, wait, that Triceratops over there, even though I'm starving, I have to save my children and feed them. I'm not going to eat that one right there. They're Sharpteeth. They eat Littlefoot and his friends. Oh my God. And there's just like no explanation. So you coming in from all the other movies, you're like, oh wait, there's Chomper. What the fuck is he doing in the Great Valley? What? Who is this? And I know Oviraptors were said, like, initially they were said to be egg stealers or egg thieves. That's what their name means. And then people were like, oh no, they're not egg thieves. No. What they were saying, I could be wrong, but based on what I've read up, people thought that they just ate eggs. No, they ate a whole bunch of other things, including eggs. They're opportunistic. So, Ruby obviously is not predominantly a vegetarian dinosaur. So if there's some eggs lying around or insects or whatever is lying around, she's going to eat them. And if it's Chomper's instinct to eat meat and to bite his friends trying to kill them, then it could be her instinct as well to do the same. Who's to say that she hasn't stolen somebody else's eggs that wasn't her friends? Like, they're like, well, it's not Littlefoot's egg, so whatever. And then shit goes missing, and like, it just seems very out of character.
We've looked for him everywhere, and everywhere we've looked, he isn't.
Why does she sound like Sarah? Trying to speak like a different way. It sounds like the same actress.
I don't like the sound of this.
Oh, shut your duck face up. Every time there's been a situation where you know how your grandson is, you've left him. You've left him up to his own devices to go sneaking off. I don't know about you, but if I have a child or a pet that is always sneaking off or escaping or going where they're not supposed to go, I would take extra measures to make sure they're safe. And if you told them directly, hey, don't do such and such, and they keep on disobeying you, you have to punish them. It's not even like you're trying to be mean. They can literally die and get eaten. Oh my goodness gracious. These people are like the world's worst parents. So anyway, Littlefoot and his friends are out of the land of Featherhead Sharpteeth. And then Sarah is like, until we have to go back home. Oh God, can't they not see that something's wrong with her eyelids? Like, at this point, are they just dumb?
I got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, now you'll beg me please. Hey, now I'll stay away. You were never meant to save me.
insulting, but at this point, I don't really give a fuck. It's not a mistake anymore. They're doing this on purpose, and it looks horrible. What is the purpose of even having the cream color over her eyes? So by all means, she closes her eyes, and it's just a cream color dot with a pink color dot inside of it. That's not how, I'm a broken record, I know. It's just, it bothers me. It bothers me severely. Anyway, everyone's getting tired, and Spike collides into a tree and still keeps trying to walk. What is with the freaking sounds? Are all the trees hollow in this bitch? Why does it always make that Cartoon Network sound? God, it's annoying. So Littlefoot looks back and sees that Spike is struggling, and Ducky looks back and she's like,
Littlefoot, Spike is tired of it.
like that's a word. Ducky's always making these dumbass words. And Littlefoot, oh my god, he's so annoying. He gets annoyed because he's like, Spike, come on. And then he asks Ducky, who is like, I'm sorry, a fifth his size, if she can move Spike.
Spike is tired, Littlefoot.
Ducky, can you help move him?
Bitch! Sorry. I actually didn't mean to yell that loud. You're bigger than Ducky. Why don't you help move him? What?
Okay, Spike, let's keep going.
Littlefoot's such an asshole. He is such an asshole. Look at how tiny Ducky is. He knows that Ducky is not big enough to move Spike. Had he taken his fat fucking ass over there to go and push him out the way, Spike would probably still keep walking at least some distance away. Good grief. I don't know when the character had gotten so full of himself. Maybe he was always like that and we just didn't notice, and it got worse as he got older or something. But they're exhausted, so they all sit down to sleep. Littlefoot seems upset about this, but I'm just saying, maybe they wouldn't also have been so tired had you gone the safe way, Littlefoot, and you weren't spiking your adrenaline levels running from shark teeth and doing all of that. Maybe they wouldn't have been so freaking tired. Have you ever had an adrenaline spike and then relax afterwards? Your body, it's like a really high to a severe low, so of course you're going to get very tired. It's why a lot of men fall asleep right afterwards and people get mad, but that's the reason. You have a big dopamine spike or an adrenaline spike or something really crazy and extreme to another low extreme. It really wears down the body. So had you gone the right way, lartle fart, maybe your friends wouldn't be as tired as they are now. Just saying. If you want someone to blame, blame your dumbass. They go back to the grown-ups, and the grown-ups are like, yeah, well, I think that they went out looking for Littlefoot's father, and, you know, because no one can find their kids, they all thought that they were, they all thought that they were playing. So then Gourmet's like, no, yeah, I think that Sarah went with him. But it's the way that Sarah's dad sounds. I can't get over it. It's so difficult. They could have found someone to replace the dead actors who sounded more spot on. Because this ain't it, dude.
Gone looking for Littlefoot's father.
Sarah, too? What was she thinking? We have to find them right away.
Oh my god. The voice actor isn't even good. He doesn't even have the mannerisms down. Even if his voice doesn't sound the same, you can at least he sounds like he's literally reading a script. The other actors, the old school actors, when they were alive, you could feel like they were the character. That's how they behave. This person, Sarah too? Oh, she should have known better. Like, what are you, 5? Like, why are you reading like that? I can't even blame them because it's the directors that are responsible for directing them. It really shows how they don't care about this franchise any longer. Of course, it's the 14th movie, and check out the quality of it. The only thing that this has going for it is the fact that Sarah at least is still kind of the same, and that the graphics are a little bit better. But I would rather the graphics look like claymation and have a good story and have all of the qualities that it had before than it deteriorate and it's like, oh, look at the pretty colors, kids. See, it still looks pretty and oh, dinosaurs.
I saw Littlefoot listening closely to what Wild Arms said. I would guess he went the way he described.
So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something real fast. If you see him did I listen intently like that, why you make him gone far? Why are these people so fucking stupid? You know that Littlefoot has a history of going out. You hear him listening intently. You even realize that he's listening intently. You don't know your grandson enough to tell him, Littlefoot, look, I know you really want to find your father, but stay with us for a little bit. We'll all go together. But yeah, you let him out of your sight when all the rest of the 13 movies, okay, bar the first one, all the rest of the 12 movies, that's exactly what they always do every single time. It's like they're trying to get rid of him, and at this point, I don't even blame them.
We should go too. Yes, but let's not let them know we're going to.
Oh my god. Where are Chomper's parents? Where are his parents? What's happening right now? The whole reason that Littlefoot and them are in trouble is because they're in danger and no one can find them and they're going someplace that's really dangerous. But your whole thing is, let's go too, but let's not tell them, right? So if we're in danger, nobody knows where we are or what happened to us. Great job. What a great influence you guys are. Okay, so this next part is where I'm going to stop because... Holy God. Oh my God. I was actually shocked when I saw this. My head was cracked open because I was so confused. Here, I think I'm losing my mind. Let's go back to the previous scene. See how big the tree is? This is the scene that we saw with Littlefoot and his friends before. This is how big they are, and that's them directly on the tree. Do you see how big they are? Excuse me. Compared to the tree. I need a scale. And for me, look, the chasm looks gigantic. The chasm looks gigantic. It's not completely consistent when you come up here, but you could say it's a little bit to scale, sort of. And from their perspective, they cannot jump this. It's impossible. Let's see. Sarah, she can be as small or the same size as this little bushing right here. So let's just say that. That's Sarah's size. That third bush. I can't even use that to scale because it's not even the same tree. Where's the third bush? I don't even think it's the same tree species. Now, let's see the grown-ups pass. First, we have Wild Arms who passes by, who looks a lot smaller than I thought he was. And everything is just very strange with how the chasm looks. I know the grown-ups are bigger, but for some reason, to me, everything just looks extra small when they cross. And Littlefoot's big enough now that when he's by his grandparents, he is obviously bigger than their heads. And you know how big he is now? Because when he's going under his grandpa's legs, his head is almost touching his underside. And then he comes out, and that is Littlefoot's height to his grandpa's ratio. Looks like his grandpa's naked. Okay, so I know, I'm petty. Let's take Littlefoot's body off. And we know that his general body is... Littlefoot's also tall enough that he's standing. He would almost touch his grandpa's crotch or like underside. So now when they're walking across this tree and I'm like, something looks a little bit off about the scale here. So now if we go to scale here and we once again add Littlefoot next to his grandfather, yes, it still matches. The head shape is about the size of his body. I will dare say the little cutout I have of Littlefoot is a little bit smaller, but let's just use that for scale. This is why it looks so odd to me. And I think the adults are just way too big, or they scaled everything else down. Because if we move Littlefoot back to the tree, this is how big he would be. And at that point, if they did a running jump over the cavern, it would have been fine. But his grandpa and Sarah's dad are just like super large. And I knew something was off the minute I saw them, because I thought what we were gonna see was them come to the edge and be like, they must have gone across and they were going to have to take like a really huge jump across or take a safer way. But then you see them like roll up on the screen. This guy goes across. First I'm like, why is he so big? I mean, I know that he's like around the size of Littlefoot and his friends. I'm like, he's kind of, okay, whatever. And then his grandpa comes onto the screen. I'm like, whoa, wait. What is happening? No, the whole scaling is way off. Unless all of a sudden now Littlefoot's microscopic and way smaller than his grandpa, like he was as a hatchling. This makes no goddamn sense. So Wild Arms gets all bent out of shape and he's like, oh look, the horns look nice now on Sarah's father. Good job. He's like, he hears a sharp tooth roaring. He's like, yeah, I guess you guys can find the Fire Mountain from here because, I mean, it's not like you can't see it. It's like straight ahead.
Fire Mountain without me. I mean, I'd love to come.
Do you now?
All the wild stunts these young ones have pulled, this is the worst.
No, the worst stunt is getting you to sound like that. And I'm sorry, this is the worst one? Going to the Fire Mountain's the worst stunt? Really, bro? Not bringing home a sharp-tooth egg and raising it? Not leaving the Great Valley at the time of a drought where you can get heat stroke very easily to the mysterious beyond? Not going back through an unknown land to a place where they've never been completely unaided? Not going across the big water to some mysterious island that they've never been to and where you can't find them? And playing with their sharp-tooth friend? Not climbing a super high structure so they could catch the dumb twins they were supposed to be watching and breaking it, almost killing each other? Not going to a faraway mountain to fight villain pteranodons and pterodactyls and almost drowning, getting struck by lightning, and in a lava pit, meeting with strange alien dinosaurs that made them get into a piping hot steam elevator that wasn't tested previously, that manages to launch them many meters into the air where they almost freaking died just so they could see if something called the Stone of Coal Fire was real. On another note, look how big Littlefoot is next to his grandfather. Not going off into coal by themselves without telling the grown-ups so they could help Ducky find Spike when nothing was wrong with him and he only just left with a herd of Stegosaurus that were gonna take care of him anyway. Not when they left to go to the mysterious beyond to save a mysterious creature and didn't try to come back home right away when the earth cracked in two so they could help the stranger go back to the big water. Not when Littlefoot took that great long neck migration and Sarah decided to go with him and not tell anyone so she could join him and his cult of long neck dinosaurs to stick their necks out because they thought during an eclipse the sun is going to kick the moon out of the sky and it's their responsibility to look at it as hard as they can so they can save it. Not when Sarah helped lie about these Tinosauruses that everybody thought were pests. And then Littlefoot lied to the grown-ups and lied on the Tinosauruses that almost got them killed because he was too much of a bitch ass to admit when he was wrong and that he did something wrong because he felt insecure and his ego's bigger than freaking Godzilla. Not when one of their friends was sleepwalking some stranger they just met, so they had to go across another freaking chasm to follow him because he was sleepwalking, only to find out that he could fly anyway. And then they followed him deep into the mysterious beyond where they almost got eaten by a Spinosaurus. Not when they saw these big dodo bird looking things. And Littlefoot, being stupid himself, thought that they needed his wisdom, so he followed them all across the world till they found their group and then still decided to follow them to help them find a valley that he didn't even know existed. And he didn't even know where it was in the first place, only to find out that the wise one was with them all along. But this is the worst stunt that they pulled? This goes to show me that you definitely are not Mario Tops from the first 13 movies. You can't be if you think this is the worst stunt they pulled. I am convinced now that this is an alternate universe and these characters that we see getting perpetually stupid are the unintelligent, intolerable, and poo-stained versions of the originals. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Alteori. You ask, we answer.